Imagine standing on the deck of a ship at the bottom of the world, staring into a stretch of ocean so wild and untouched that even seasoned explorers whisper about it. You've heard the stories. Creatures here don't play by the usual rules. And there's one question echoing in your mind. If the Southern Ocean is one of the harshest places on Earth, then why on earth do the most extraordinary species choose to live here? That question pulls you deeper into the world of 10 animals so bizarre, so extreme, that you begin to wonder whether evolution used this ocean as its personal playground. And the first clue lies in something you would never expect: a heart that refuses to freeze. Because a fish, barely larger than your hand, has solved a problem that should have killed every creature around it. As the ship glides over Antarctic waters, you hear about the Antarctic icefish, a creature with blood as clear as glass. No red color, no hemoglobin, just a transparent fluid pumping through its veins. Someone whispers, if you're still following old rules of biology, it's time for an update, because the icefish breaks all of them. It doesn't just survive in sub-zero water, it thrives because its blood carries antifreeze proteins, tiny molecular miracles that keep it alive where everything else turns solid. And suddenly you realize this list isn't about ordinary animals. It's about ocean survivors that have earned their place through impossible adaptations. But just when you think nothing can top that, the water erupts beside the ship. At first, you think you've spotted smoke rising from the sea, until the shape of a colossal head appears, patterned with scars and stories. The sperm whale surfaces with calm authority, but its calmness disguises something far more intense. This animal performs dives deeper than nearly anything else on the planet, plunging over a mile down in total darkness to hunt giants with beaks and tentacles that leave battle marks across its skin. You're told that every scar is a signature from an encounter with the legendary giant squid. Suddenly, the whale's presence feels less like whale watching and more like meeting a veteran who survived wars you'll never fully understand. And then comes the soundtrack of the Southern Ocean, the eerie, echoing calls of the Weddell seal. It's the only seal daring enough to stay in Antarctica through the winter, singing underwater like an alien instrument while carving breathing holes into thick sea ice with its teeth. You hear a researcher laugh softly, saying, if you're into daily journaling, here's the right way to rock it, because every tooth mark etched into the ice is the seal's version of writing its story. Those teeth are worn down to nubs by old age, yet the seal keeps going, guided by sound, memory, and resilience no human could match. But there's another hunter under the ice, one that makes even the Weddell seal nervous: the orca. Not the generic killer whale, the specialized Type B and Type C orcas of the Southern Ocean, each with its own dialect, hunting strategy, and culture. You watch footage of a pod working together like a unified machine, creating waves to wash seals off ice floes. It feels like watching ocean wolves perform synchronized tactics that took generations to refine. Someone on the ship says, here's a hint if you're trying to spot the cleverest species here. It's the one rewriting the rules. And in that moment, you understand why orcas dominate these waters. Then, as if nature wants to balance raw power with raw weirdness, the colossal jellyfish drifts into view, over a meter wide, with tentacles trailing longer than your entire body. It's both mesmerizing and unsettling, a floating ghost drifting in water so cold it should have stopped life ages ago. No brain, no bones, yet it is one of the most successful species in this region. You catch yourself staring, unsure whether it's beautiful or terrifying, proving that in this ocean, opposites coexist effortlessly. But weird gives way to adorable when a group of Adelie penguins rockets out of the water. They look like little commuters late for work, but there's a deeper truth behind their frantic energy. They're fast, strategic, and fiercely loyal to their colonies. Each leap onto the ice is a split-second calculation designed to avoid predators. These penguins might look cute, but they're hardened survivors, tuned perfectly to the rhythm of this brutal environment. A darker shape circles beneath them. The Antarctic toothfish, often called the real-life monster fish of icy waters. It's slow, nearly motionless at times, but that's because every cell in its body is engineered for the cold. Its antifreeze proteins mirror those in the icefish. But this species grows huge, sometimes over 200 pounds, earning its place as one of the top predators below the ice. When you hear about it, it feels like discovering a quiet king ruling a kingdom no one ever sees. A bird lands on the ship's railing. A wandering albatross. Its wingspan stretches wider than you thought physically possible, built for gliding across open ocean for months without touching land. It doesn't need power. It uses wind like a mathematician bends equations. Effortless, precise, patient. You feel a strange jealousy. This bird has mastered something humans have chased for centuries: freedom without boundaries. But the Southern Ocean has one more card to play. The colossal krill swarms, billions of tiny crustaceans moving like shimmering underwater storms. They are the heartbeat of the entire Antarctic ecosystem, feeding everything from penguins to whales. The contrast is striking. The smallest creatures controlling the fate of the largest. You suddenly understand why scientists panic when krill numbers shift even slightly. They are the quiet rulers of the Southern Ocean, the invisible engine powering every dramatic story you've heard so far. By the end of the journey, you realize something surprising. The top 10 species of the Southern Ocean aren't just interesting. They're proof that life bends, breaks, and rewrites the rules when the environment dares it to. Every animal here carries a story of extremes. Hearts that won't freeze, voices that travel through ice, wings that cross the planet, scars etched by titans, and entire food webs resting on creatures smaller than a paperclip. And as the ship turns away from the endless horizon, you can't help thinking that this remote frozen ocean, far from empty, is one of the most alive places on Earth.